Hi, welcome to the channel. This is Beyond Authentic Health and Beauty, where we are going through some makeup today. Yes, hi, these are my hands. Hello, my name's Lisa, and today we are going through my entire Revolution makeup collection of eyeshadows. So all the different Revolution brands, and we are starting with my least favorite one. So I'm going to break this down into the various sort of sub-brands of Makeup Revolution, and I'm starting off with the one that I would say, for me personally, is the most hit or miss. And largely it's more miss than hit, unfortunately. And this is the I Heart Revolution selection. Now, if you can hear the dogs, by the way, in the background snoring as I'm filming this, it is 2:45 in the morning. I know, right? But yeah, so the dogs are snoring. I'm in the lounge. Rufus is in the bedroom, so I didn't want to disturb him by doing it anywhere else than in here. So it is what it is, unfortunately. If you can hear the dogs, I apologize if they're annoying. If they are, feel free to skip this one and move on to another video. But, you know, our dogs are our babies and it's nighttime, and if they're going to snore, I'm not going to wake them up to, you know, just for the sake of a video. Anyway, all of that being said, I Heart Revolution is the brand, as I say, that I have most problems with within the Revolution sort of stable. Now, it is only sold in the UK in Superdrugs. I believe in the States I think it's on Sephora, I can't remember. But yeah, so this is only available in Superdrug in the UK and on the Revolution website. So if you haven't seen it, but you never go to Superdrug, that's why. So then, I guess we'll start with the oldest ones here, which are these chocolate palettes here. So let me move all of this out to one side. I know, right? So these chocolate palettes came in a huge chocolate bar box, which I believe I've still got somewhere. If I can find it in the back room, I will show you. In fact, I think somewhere I've got the picture of when we bought these, because we bought them on Black Friday 2 years ago. So if so, I'll insert the photo now. It might even be 3 years ago now, I can't remember. Anyway, these are the palettes I've got left from that giant box. I think there were 8 palettes in total, I can't remember. So some of the other palettes I've already decluttered last year because some of these weren't great. So this is the Cookies and Cream palette. Now, as I say, these were part of the big box. I know that some of them, like the Fruit and Nut and the White Chocolate, I believe those were available to buy separately. I know the Fruit and Nut one was. I'm not sure about all of them, unfortunately. And to be honest, just for the sake of this video, I'm not probably going to check. Anyway, this is the Cookies and Cream one. I quite like the colour story, to be fair. I mean, it is kind of the standard neutral with a pop of blue, but there's some really nice shimmers in here. There's this sort of fairly good lilac-y shade. I'm not going to swatch every colour for every palette, don't worry. Let's show you a basic, and then let's show you one of their shimmers from this range. Now, so one there. Yeah, you see, this is a good example, and these weren't picked because they are particularly bad. This is just a random example. Now, as you can see, the lilac is barely there. The blue shade, I mean, it's there, but it's really patchy, like patchy on the swatch. It's like that when you actually apply it. It's quite a dark shade in the pan, but there's just not a lot of pigment to it. The brown sort of neutral shade there, I don't know whether you're going to be able to pick that up, but that's really patchy as well. The only one that would save it for me is the foils, and I know I've got better quality foils. So we are looking at the very first palette with our very first declutter. So then the Cookies and Cream palette, as I say, a couple of years old, that will go into the declutter bag. Next up, as I say, let's go for the two that were commercially available. So the White Chocolate palette, this is a very standard neutral, and if you're looking at some of these and thinking, I've seen that design before, they are very similar in sort of layout and also apparently in their color story to a lot of the Too Faced palettes. Some would say they're dupes, who can say? But anyway, let's have a little swatch of this. That one seems to be getting a little bit hard pan. Oh no, Well, maybe actually, but look how foiled that one is. I don't know whether that's going to pick up. There you go. And I'll swatch this sort of mid-brown one, this darker shade, and we'll try this sort of gold. So we've got 2 of the browns, 2 of the golds. Okay, and you can see I have used this palette, so it's not like it's never been used. There's that one, there's that one, the darker brown, and then the other gold one that I swatched as well. So as you can see, those same palette, they were in the same range of palettes, in the same formula, released at the same time. I bought them in the same box, and just look at the difference to the quality. I wish I'd kept the other ones on my hand to show you actually, but I'm not going to swatch them again. Although it's quite a boring kind of color story, I think the quality on this is actually really, really good. And it is fairly basic. These stupid things annoy me, but it is fairly basic, as you can see. But for a neutral palette, it's got a mix of cooler tones, a couple of warm tones, or generally warm tone with a couple of cool tones, I should say. I think it's just it's a nice palette. It's a good neutral palette from a good budget range. So that is going into the tub to stay. The Fruit and Nut Bar, this is a good palette. As you can see, again, what shall I swatch this time? Let's swatch a purple. Let's swatch a cool tone purple shimmer. Oh, that purple's not picked up a lot at all, has it? And I've also realised my hands are still a little bit dirty from the other swatch, but never mind. We'll do that pink, and let's do this random brown shimmer tone here. So then, we all know purples are notoriously difficult to do. See, really difficult, but the foils, that's also not showing up this great. Right, okay. I was expecting automatically to keep this. See, that corally pink colour is nice. And then the brown ones there. I mean, to be fair, on camera, that purple one there is looking quite good. It's just that first one that's really lacking. The first dilemma. Right, let me have a look at it. Because this is a good palette. I know I've used it, and I know I've got some fairly good looks from it over the years. Let's swatch Raisins. That's that deepish tone purple. And let's do this one that I seem to have used a fair bit. And then let's do this wrapper, which looks almost untouched. Right, so we've got 3 more adding to the swatch for this palette. Let's have a look. Yeah, see, that's not great, is it? That's really not great. The foils though, the foils on the shimmers are very good. But if I'm keeping the neutral one, no, okay, it's gone. It's gone. So that one is also going into the declutter bag. That's a shame. That's a shame, because it's actually a really good palette, or it used to be a really good palette. You're going to hear me say this a lot, because I don't know whether it's like my appreciation of makeup quality or shadow quality has changed as I've used more slightly higher end brands. I don't know, but like I remember using that one when I got this box out. I remember using that Fruit and Nut one a lot. So I can't say the same for this palette. This is is it the mint chocolate one or just the mint one? And I mean, it's a bit dull, isn't it, really? It's kind of browns, and I mean, ideally this looks like a really good winter palette because you've got the muted greens and blues. I tell you what, we'll swatch a couple. That's a shimmer, that's a matte. We'll do this one here, and we'll do this long one here. Right, so in fact that was a bit of a bad swatch, so there we go, pick it up a bit more. So then we've got the sort of, it's a grey green, that's really cool. We've got a deep green. I mean, let me see if I can build that up slightly, because it's a lovely colour. If that quality was a bit better, you know, you see a little bit patchy. This terracotta shade, it's fine, and the cream shade, I mean, that's almost exactly the same as my skin tone. No, that's going as well. Let's be brutal. And of course, I will explain what I'm doing with the ones that are being decluttered probably at the end of the video, when I've seen how many there are. Right then, so we've now got the chocolate orange palette, but you see, I'm looking at this, and apart from one shade, I don't think I've even swatched it. So I am not going to swatch that. I'm going to leave that as it is. Now, the one I was just saying looks very similar, or it seemed fairly similar. Actually, now I'm looking at them side by side. They're not too dissimilar. I mean, we've got a similar shade. Those two are fairly similar. Some of these brown tones are kind of in here, maybe a step up or down. That gold and that one, I mean, I don't know that it's an exact copy, but I would say they're very, very, very similar. The only thing is that this palette doesn't have a matte white. So that white or that pale shade, I actually really like for setting my shadows or setting my eye base. But having said that, both of those look to be, they look to be shimmers. Again, I'm not entirely certain. There's definitely a reflect on that white, a reflect on the white shade. But on this one, it does seem to be more of a matte. So maybe they're satins. I don't know. But that I am going to also declutter, but that's going into a separate pile. So yes, right. Well, I might as well show you this one then. So that of the five palettes from 2 years ago from that collection, I am keeping one, and that's the milk chocolate one. So that's quite surprising considering I'm not really a neutral queen. But anyway, right, let's have a look at this one. So this is from this year's, or technically 2020's. Yeah, that's right, 2020's I Heart Revolution chocolate set. Now this is the ginger and orange one. And as I say, I used this in a look really, really recently. I think I used it on the live stream literally last Thursday. So if you don't know, I do a live stream every Thursday morning at 11 AM. It's called Coffee and Makeup, where literally we drink coffee and I play with makeup. Sometimes they're palettes that people have asked me to look at. Sometimes they're palettes like this one that I've bought and barely used. Sometimes they are favourites, and sometimes they are just random things from the collection. But as you can see, they also, look at the reflect on that copper one. That's really pretty. And then look at that one on there as well. Look at the sort of rosy gold, warm browny gold colour. Absolutely beautiful. This palette is staying. Tell you that now. It's really good. But yeah, so that palette is staying around. I've also got from the same collection these two other chocolate bar ones. Now this one is the berry meringue. I couldn't read that at first. And this one I have swatched. I think that's probably all I've done with it. So I don't, yeah, it doesn't look used at all. In fact, some of those shades are barely touched. So, right, we're going to jump ahead a little bit, and I'm going to compare it to the I Heart Revolution Fortunes and Crystals palette. Oh, it's very different. In my head, this was more of a pink tone, but actually, as you can see, it's all purples. Right, okay, so I don't have many pink tone palettes, just because for that amount of pink, you really got to be favouring the pink. So yeah, let's have a look then. We will swatch. Let's swatch this goji berry one. That picks up lovely, actually. That's nice. This whipped one that looks like a, oh, it's got micro, well, technically I don't know whether those micro glitters are now just on my fingers or whether they're part of that shadow. Let's do this glossy one. It's no, what's that called? Huckleberry. That's really calling to me. And then shall we do this hot pink, this sort of Barbie pink? Oh, they look nice, don't they? They look nice on the finger. Let's have a look for the swatches. Right then, we'll go. Oh, that pink's nice. That slightly satiny sort of nude, I would say it's a nude for me, but if you are deeper or paler than me, then it won't be a nude. That's the sort of brown tone, and then this was that other corally pink, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, those aren't going anywhere. I like those shades, so those are staying. Okay, so this is the Violet Crush palette, and it's the little mini one. Now I remember when I tried this, I thought it was horrendous. Now I've never done a look with it. The swatches were enough to really put me off. So I'm just going to make sure that I've cleaned my hand, as my fingers, as I'll tell you what, we'll use my left hand. Now my left hand isn't the strongest, but let's do some swatches. Let's do that one, let's do that one, let's do this one, And also, that was that first one, wasn't it? And also, let's do this shimmer. Right then, as I say, I remember these weren't that great. Let's do it on my palm there. So it's with no primer, but they're just the oils on my palm. So the foil is really nice. That's really, that's not, is it? It's just not. Let's go with that deeper sort of, no. Oh, this is so bad. Yeah, no, right, that's going. Okay, that one's decluttering without ever using it on my eyes. Right, I'm probably going to regret that one, but anyway, right, let's go with the silly food items. So I've got these three here. The two donuts, I think this one was sent to me, actually. Yes, it was, because I repressed it. So this one was sent to me by a subscriber, so this is not going anywhere, but I will swatch you a couple of these, yeah, because I think it's the pink that are broken. And actually, it's a really fun donut. This is the sugar-coated one. And again, the colour story is absolutely right up my street. I love that shimmer. It's so cool. Oh yeah, and then the whites. So those are they look really funky. So there, and there. They are really, really funky shades. And considering it's only, I mean, how many are in this? Are they 5? Yeah, little £5. They're not bad at all. And you've got to say, you know, for somebody on Slimming World, having a sort of donut type shape is just fun. This one is a green. Is it the mint chocolate chip? Yes, it is. A mint chocolate chip donut. Now, this is actually really, really good quality greens. One thing I will say, Revolution generally make nice quality green palettes. I wasn't overly impressed by the Tasty Avocado one, but this is actually quite good. And again, it's interesting, this one, because all of these are shimmers. So, okay, we might as well do the last one. We can't leave that one out all by itself, can we? So, here we go then. We'll do these here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there you go. You can see they're pretty shades. They look really cool. But unfortunately, I completely forgot that I had this. Because that's what happens, unfortunately, with my brain and my giant collection. But yes, look at this. I said I wasn't going to swatch every single one, and that's exactly what ends up happening, because I'm trying to remind myself more than anything else, or as much as anything else I should say, what I think of the palettes, and you know, how they feel and how they perform. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, that's going nowhere. I really like that one. This Revolution drive-through burger, it's the Tasty Vegan Burger one, or the Tasty Burger Vegan. This is also a really cool kind of, oh wow, oh, the burger's coming off the top of the burger. That's a shame. I mean, you've got to love, again, talk about packaging for Slimming Worlders, you know. But this is the vegan one. They did do a meat one that was more brown. It didn't have the lettuce sort of shades in. Right, I'm not going to swatch every single shade, but I will swatch you 2 shimmers. No, 1 matte, and let's do a brown shimmer and 2 shimmers. There we go. So that's the matte, the sort of mustardy shade. And then we've got that green, which is very similar to what's on my nails, just a little bit lighter, and the shimmery brown. I mean, they are, what's all that there? Ugh. They are good quality shimmers. They really are. So again, that one is going nowhere. That's going to stay in the collection as well. So we'll move those down to there. Also, I just think they're fun. I mean, I do also have the Revolution, the iHeart Revolution eyeball highlighters. They're really good as well. The last food, oh no, I've got a big one, haven't I? The last tasty one, I guess, because that was the Tasty Burger one. This was the hot dog palette. This is really good. This is a really good warm tone sort of, I would call this warm neutrals, but again, it's not totally neutral, is it? It's more sort of browns and very warm tones. There's a couple of, like, this is a slightly cooler tone one here, and this one in the front is a little bit cooler, but I think it's lovely. I love this palette. I think it's a really, really good quality palette. So yeah, this is going to go nowhere as well. This was the one that actually made me reconsider I Heart Revolution after I'd written them off. So that's the mustard one. We'll do hot dog and we'll do a shimmer. Let's do that cool tone one. Oh, I meant the one next to it, but never mind. Those are the ones we've got. So, I mean, look, that's the sort of hot dog type shade. Look at that. It looks like a hot dog. It really does. And then you drizzle on some mustard. There you go. Look, that looks really cool. And you put a gold flake on it just for the sake. You know, there you go. I mean, they are really lovely shades. They really are. I need to put this on one of my makeup series this year. So I'm doing a team project pan, but that isn't including eyeshadows. I think what I'm going to do with eyeshadows is pick maybe 2 palettes a month to use for that entire month, and then make a decision about whether I'm keeping or decluttering. So yes, that one is just going to go back in the drawer for now. I love it. The last food one, this palette I don't think I've even used as well. This was part of this year's chocolate bar chocolate vault collection. That purple, because that purple always calls my name. That one I've used a fair bit. Right, we'll use this sort of soft pink. We'll do the black with micro glitters, and we will do another matte. There we go. We'll do this one. Oh, I want to do that cream shade because that looks really lovely as well. Right, so here we go. The yellow. Oh, bit lackluster on the yellow. There you go. I mean, you can see it on camera more than, well, I guess you can kind of see it. Maybe it was a bit, it was my thumb, so it probably isn't the best swatch in the world. Right, let's try the purple. See, look at that. That's how a purple shadow should be. It's a little bit crumbly, but you know, let's wipe that out. That shimmer pink is just gorgeous. The black shimmer shade with the micro glitters, see how that performs. Lovely, lovely. And then that's the other pink. To be fair, that hot pink isn't the best. A bit patchy, but there's not that many bad quality shadows in there. So that we will keep, and again, that will probably end up in a series later in the year. Let's do this one next. I need to be a little bit careful. This is the I Heartbreak, or the Heartbreakers by I Heart Revolution. Let me just pull that into there. I could probably try and repress it, but this was such an affordable palette, and to be fair, it's probably not a, I mean, let's have a look at that. It's, you know, it's not a bad, oh, but that's lovely. That's a lovely lime green. Oh, I really like it. But okay, no, I'm not going to bother repressing it. It's such a small piddly pan. There's no point. Let's go for this dark green, this yellow. Compare that yellow to the one I've just swatched, and let's do that little light green shimmer. So we've got a matte there. Went a bit weird with that swatch. That's the yellow. I mean, you know, yellows aren't easy to do. It's not great, is it? That's the shimmer. And that was it. That's the 3. So what do you think about those? I mean, again, not bad quality for the price of that palette. It's not bad quality at all, is it? Sorry, let me move that out of the way. That's disgusting, just leaving that in shot. So I'm going to keep hold of this because I am going to do a video looking at my different green palettes, and then I'll decide what I do with that one. So these are the last 3 from the I Heart Revolution collection, and these were the, what were they called? Was it spells? No, was it just the spell books? I think they were just called spell books, to be fair. So we've got the, what's that? The Good Luck Charms, the Curses and Hexes, and the Fortunes and Crystals palette. So I like these because they look like sort of spell books. They or kind of give that impression. I'll show you when you open them. Unfortunately, they don't have that on the sides. That would have been ideal. But they do look like a little book, I guess. So this is the Good Luck one. I've used it a couple of times. I didn't think it was particularly like amazing, but also it wasn't particularly dire either. It's just, you know, an I Heart Revolution palette. It does the job. Mainly that grey, as you can see, is really patchy, but the brown is absolutely fine. I mean, it is what it is. It was a relatively affordable palette. I think I got this one and the pink one for a deal. I can't remember if they were £10 each, and I ended up paying 15 for the 2 or something like that, or they were, whatever they were. Anyway, there was a deal with these 2. So these are the second ones. And yeah, again, look how beautiful that is. That is a colour story. All it needs in there is maybe 2 more hot pinks. For me, that would have been perfect. Maybe take out a couple of the sort of grey tone ones and put in a couple more hot pinks. But anyway, that's just me. I love this Formula One. It's got like a really, looks like a really chunky glitter in there, but is actually really, really pretty. Let's do this sort of fuchsia purple, and then let's do, have I got a shimmer? Yeah, let's do this matte pink here. So again, you know, it's fine, a bit chalky, looks a bit like chalk dust, but it's fine. That sort of fuchsia shade is fine, but then this pink, look at that. Look at the pink, look how it catches the light. It's got micro glitters, and I just think that is lovely. Really, really, really lovely. So yeah, that one is staying as well, because also, as a witch, you know, you've got to keep hold of your spell books. So even though it's not the best witchy book packaging, you know, like this print would have been so much better on the palette itself, because then you could have got rid of the cases. But those two are definitely staying. This one though, oh, I already know this is going to get decluttered, because I had a very, I mean, the color story is lovely. The color story is right up my street, kind of quite dark, quite gothy, a bit vampy. Looks like it should be an amazing palette, right? Let me just do this purple. We'll do this pink. We'll do this grey. I'm also going to do this blue. So there we go. That's how it is on the finger. So looks like it picks up okay. So that's that purple. I mean, you know, there is more still on my finger than came off on that. The silver, or the pink tone is quite good, because again, you know, Revolution know their foils. The grey tone, I mean, again, a bit of a weird swatch there, but I don't know whether you can see, like even going over it and rubbing it in, it still looks really patchy. There's bits missing. And then the blue foil, it just isn't, you know what I mean? It just isn't. It actually is looking on camera far better than that looks on my arm. In person, that looks really awful, really terrible, really, really, really patchy. So this palette is another one that, the only reason I haven't got rid of it is because I knew that at the end of the year I would be doing a declutter. So even though this is, I would argue, more Halloweeny, more witchy, more gothy, and just that fun sort of spooky design that is normally the sort of aesthetic of it is right up my street. But this is going in the declutter. I know. Are you shocked? Are you shocked? And those two are staying in the collection. Okay, a couple of oddities from my collection. We have the I Heart Obsession I Heart Makeup Palette. So this is kind of the missing link between Makeup Obsession and I Heart Revolution. It's before this brand was properly Revolution. It says here I Heart Makeup, but all of these details are exactly the same as your standard Makeup Revolution details. The same address, same everything. I believe this was the company before they became Makeup Revolution. I think they were known as TAM. I think that's right. So yeah, this is just that missing link before they were established as Revolution. And so this is staying. It's even still sealed. It's still got the sellotape on it, or the sort of sealing sticker thing. So this is staying unopened, completely sealed, completely unused, not even seen, you know, the light of day, and probably once it's ever opened it will just crumble and fade away like a vampire in sunlight. But this is going to stay in my collection drawer. So yes. And then the other oddity I have is this XX Revolution Lights On palette. I've got a feeling that this was either in a mystery box or something like that. Now, I like the concept. It's got these little LED lights that turn on, and I really do like the concept, except the shadows aren't great. So let me show you. So we'll do this white one. We'll do this sort of nude, quote unquote. We'll do this rose gold, and I'll tell you what, let's do this dark sort of shade there. I'm not sure whether that's a brown or a purple. This light's a little bit deceiving sometimes, and the light on here isn't enough for that to actually to make an impact, is it? So then let's have a look. We've got the white. I keep doing that in the wrong direction, but the white's okay. The sort of more nudie on me, skin tony one, if you like, it's there. I mean, as a setting shade, it's okay. That foil though, I mean, it's on camera, it's showing up really nicely. In person, it's really lackluster compared to the I Heart Revolution ones. And then this is that sort of mid-tone browny purpley shade. I mean, you can see as soon as I go to rub it in, it kind of gets really patchy there in the middle. So again, this quality, I don't think it's that good, to be honest. I really don't think it's that good. And I actually think I prefer the I Heart Revolution nudes, those sort of neutrals. The only reason I'm keeping this is because it is the only palette I have from this particular in-house one, and because I want to do some more, looking at more sort of Revolution makeup in a different way in the year ahead, it's something that I'm going to keep just so I can use it for comparisons. But it's totally gimmicky packaging. You can't change the battery with the little light, so once that goes, it no longer has that gimmick. Also recyclability, oh, just no. I believe this one's available in Boots, but this is the one that is supposed to have skincare ingredients inside the makeup, and it's priced at the highest point for Revolution. So yeah, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping this one, but not necessarily because of the quality of the palettes themselves. We'll move on next to the Revolution Pro, and we've got a few palettes here. These are the little Revolution Pro Ultimate Eye Look palette. This one is in, oh, this is Hidden Jewels. Right, yeah. So these are beautiful packaging. They've got sort of, I mean, it's plastic, but it's made to look like it's sort of crystal rock face or something, or like a, you know, like an amethyst or one of those crystals sort of beds. So yeah, that's what that's supposed to look like. The shadows are actually okay, surprisingly. I mean, this isn't the most pigmented of palettes in the world, but it certainly does the job. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, bit crumbly, little bit kind of on the patchy side, especially with the darker shades, but again, not bad at all, and certainly not bad for the price point. So I'm keeping that one. We've got the Hidden Jewels one. We've also got, this one hasn't even been opened, so this can go, this can be decluttered straight away. Yep, the Wild Onyx one. It's probably blacks and silvers. Oh no, I tell you what, no, do I need it? What if it's the most, you see, the thing is, I'm looking at this packaging and I'm looking at it thinking this could be the most amazing black glitter, amazing deep rich black, but it's also Revolution, so it's probably not. It'll go in the declutter. I don't need to have that one in my collection. I've never picked it up. I've not used it in the time that I've had it, so therefore that tells me everything I need to know. This is Revolution Pro singles. These were part of a mystery box thing at some point. It's not shades I ever reach for, so that can go in the declutter bag as well. The Revolution Pro, I believe, yeah, this is the dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold. So that isn't going to go anywhere. I don't think I've ever, no, I haven't opened that. Oh no, I have opened it. I don't think I've done a look with it or even really swatched it that much. So we'll do a quick little swatch comparison here. I don't know why I'm saying comparison. I don't have the Huda one, but I'll swatch those just on my arm next to the others. I mean, you know, shimmers, you've got to be going some for Revolution to mess up a shimmer in any of their in-house brands. But yeah, I mean, you know, it swatches really nicely. So we will keep hold of that, and I will try and get around to using that in a look. It will probably go in one of my series. Using my makeup series. I don't know what I'm going to call that yet. This is the Regeneration Trends Celestial. This is going nowhere. This was sent to me by Holland, so this is going straight back into the collection. That's going nowhere. These are the last two that I've got in the collection, the New Neutral Smoked palette and the original New Neutral palette. So these are fairly good. This is, I've got on the back written that this is a dupe for the Huda Nudes. I'm not sure whether it is or not, or whether it's a dupe for one of the others. Yes, thank you, Eddie. But as you can see, it is a very neutral palette. It also looks quite, let me just have a check on it, because it looks very, very dusty and stuff on the sides. I was just wondering if that was beginning to go, but no, I think it smells just like a palette. So it doesn't have a scent to it like the chocolate bar ones. But yeah, it just looks absolutely fine. Again, it's a very boring, neutral, sort of basic palette. But let's do the shimmer. So we've got this, well, it's not really a shimmer, is it? It's a pressed glitter. So let's show you that one. I mean, you know, it does pick up better than that actually with a brush. So let's do a shimmer, a matte. That does seem to have a little bit of, I don't quite want to say mould, but something on it. That was a bit odd, wasn't it? And then we'll do this one here as well. Oh, Eddie, you're such a drama queen. He really is. Right, okay, so that's the beige. I mean, that still looks okay. Oh, that brown is terrible. That brown is terrible. That was that majestic one. And then let's do the shimmer. Yeah. Let's do one more shade. Let's try a different brown. Let's try this one, Rumour. And again, you can see I'm digging in quite well there. See, that one's good. Maybe it was just that majestic that needs a little bit of... Let's try it again. I mean, it's one that I'm going to have to watch. I think it is just beginning to go. And you know what? For that reason, I'm just going to declutter it. Yeah, the colour story's not crying out to me. I haven't really reached for it for the longest time. And with that just going, that's going to have to go in the bin, unfortunately. But these are cardboard, so I will be able to take all of the little pans out and actually recycle this, take the mirror out and then recycle the packaging. This is the smoked version. I like this, but again, I mean, just look at the amount of glitter fallout that's on the palette itself. It's a lot. There's a lot of fallout. Now this one has been used a fair bit because this is slightly more a colour story that I can really sort of get behind, if you like. We will do this sort of greyish bluey, almost lavender lilac. Let's do this white. We'll do this brown, even though again it's got a slight bit of discoloration. I think these are fairly old. So we'll do these four first. Yes, Eddie, we can all hear you, you know. We really, really can. That's the white sort of shimmer one, that one there. That's just a good shade. I mean, these are all holding up really, really well, but I have just noticed... Yes, Eddie, I have just noticed this one does seem to have a little bit of discoloration just around the edges, which is the hint that it's beginning to go off. Yeah, and that is looking really, really patchy. Oh, I go again. They came out at the same time. They're the same age. I've probably had them for best part of two and a half years, and they're just beginning to change now. So yeah, that's going to get decluttered as well. So there you go. That is the first part. So then, decluttering, how are we going? I've got the two that are definitely have gone over, and therefore I wouldn't even give to anybody else just in case. So they're going to have to be binned. I will break the palettes down, take the mirrors out, take the metal pans out, get rid of the eyeshadows and basically recycle the cardboard packaging. And then these are ones that I'm going to pass on to somebody else. So maybe I'll see if anybody from the Spanner Squad wants them, or I'll see if any friends want them. I can't really donate these because these aren't lightly used. So yeah, so we've got the Cures and Hexes palette, the Cookies and Cream, the Fruit and Nut, which I'm really surprised about, the little Refill Basics one, and the Mint Chocolate Chip one. And then the ones that I'm going to offer either on eBay or Depop or even on FaceBay. I don't know whether I'm going to do them as a bundle yet, I haven't decided. But these are ones that are so lightly used or not even opened. And that is the Chocolate Orange palette, which smells absolutely amazing, looks amazing. And as I say, I've not even used. The Violet Crush palette, which again, I've only ever swatched. And the Revolution Pro Ultimate Look palette in the shades Wild Onyx, and that's one that is still sealed. So any of the items that I declutter that does end up on eBay or Depop, I will put the links down in the description box. There'll be bundles, it will be super affordable, but don't feel any obligation. If nobody wants them after a couple of weeks or so, then I will find somewhere that I can donate all of these ones that are very lightly used or very lightly just swatched or even unopened. I'll find some sort of charity that is accepting those, because I know that there are some. Hopefully you like this video. If you do, please give it a massive thumbs up. That really helps me out with YouTube's algorithm. This is the sneak peek for part 2. These are all the standard Revolution and Makeup Obsession palettes that I own. So I'm going to be doing these ones next. Now, if you want to see that, the easiest thing to do is to hit your subscribe button and then ding your bell and change your settings to all. That way YouTube should let you know each and every time I upload any video, including part 2 of this, and also the rest of the Collection and Declutter series that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of weeks as we go into 2022. So if you want to see that, as I say, make sure your notifications are set to all. You might want to check it anyway, because I've had a couple of people message recently saying that YouTube is doing that thing again where they're either unsubscribing people or changing their notification settings. So do just make sure that your bell has been dinged. But there we are, everyone. That is it for this video. All of this is coming up. I will see you very soon. And as we always say, stay you, stay safe, stay authentic, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.